How's Feltner feeling?
He's
you're good to go, right?
I feel good. I feel good about it, unless something, anything can happen, right? But I think our training staff, our coaching staff, we feel good about where he's. We're confident that he's going to be fine. It would surprise me if something came.
But Ryan had such a terrific latter part of last year, like 2 months really. Pretty good spring training. He's been solid, early going.
Yeah.
Where do you see his overall progression as a starter?
I think overall it's on track. I think there's still some things that I would like to see him improve on. I mean, some fundamental things. I guess I can share those with you without any trade secrets. But I think the fastball away to the lefty, the quality pitch down and away to a lefty is something that we've talked quite a bit about over the last year. It feels real comfortable, coming into righties, coming into lefties, throwing the ball away to righties, that side of the plate. He feels good about his two-seam fastball, like moving into the righty, but just the real located fastball down and away to the left-handed hitters. It's been a real goal for him to try to achieve that, especially in certain counts where it's for a pitcher, it's always sort of in a way a safety zone. Ball down away at the knees against a big powerful hitter. Or any hitter for that matter. Because, to get a base hit, well-located fastball down away at the knees, you got to do a really good piece of hit. I mean, there's hits over there, but you got to really put a good swing on it.
Does his run on that pitch stay consistent?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's part of what he does, against a right-handed hitter. And that will come into play today.
How's his change?
Without giving away, some scouting reports. Go ahead.
How's his changeup?
Yeah, changeup's fine. Has a tendency to sort of pull it a little bit, but it's a quality pitch. He's got a lot of confidence in it. But so I guess to your question is, I think the thing that stood out for me is I think he's understanding who he is as a pitcher. And by that I mean how he gets his outs, where his true strengths are, what his weaknesses are, what he needs to improve on. And when push comes to shove against certain types of hitters, he's going to do certain things and he feels confident about. I don't want to tell you those.
Okay.
Because one of you guys might be a Secret Service agent for the National League and the Atlanta Braves.
How's Tovar doing, buddy?
He's getting better, Kyle. Still not progressing as we hoped. We had hoped that after 10 days he'd be back in the lineup. That's not the case. So again, this is a tricky one that only the player knows how he's feeling, and he's getting better. What did I mention yesterday? It might be another week to 10 days. Did I say that yesterday?
You did.
Yeah. So it's going to be about another 6 to 9 days.
Well done.
Hey, buddy, with Nicky Moniak,
Yeah.
what's been the biggest thing you've learned about him now that he's been in the clubhouse and you've seen what he can do, especially on defense?
Yeah. Well, I think overall, he's a good baseball player, and he loves to play. A lot of kids, in their mid-20s, who've come from certain parts of the country, they play a lot of baseball. Mickey's played a lot. Even, he was a high-profile kid, in high school, all the travel ball. I mean, he played a lot. And, he was a minor league player with the Phillies, played a lot. He's played a lot of games. So he knows the game. He likes to play. And getting to know him, right? I think, he's an easy guy to talk baseball with. Clear thinker, understands, instruction, understands, coaching. So, whether it's offensively or defensively, he has a good grasp of the game.
Juan Mejia back up.
Yes.
And what kind of growth have you seen from last year to this year? Does it seem substantial?
I think more of a pitcher. By that I mean, understands the importance of, truly throwing strikes. It's not about stuff. Getting the ball in the strike zone. We've made a few, I don't know, I think coaching suggestions about a slider, about the shape of it and the velocity. And I think, it took him a while to understand why we were trying to do certain things with him, with his breaking ball. So I think he's understood that, and that's helped him over the last year. The fastball plays, it's a good fastball, but he's also learning that, fastball execution, being able to locate the fastball is important. So I think, just maturity, another year. I suspect if he continues to throw the ball like he has early in the season, I'm just counting Albuquerque and a little bit of spring training that he's got a chance to be a nice major league relief pitcher.
Buddy, you've had to mix and match.
It's been a challenge.
How's the communication been? Because it takes, guys knowing
yeah.
each other, knowing
Yeah.
who's got the strength to what hole, et cetera.
Yeah.
How do you think it's been?
I think overall solid. I take Farmer, who's very astute, sharp. He's very good at talking to, in this case, the second baseman. If he's playing second, the shortstop. As far as where they want the ball in a double play, just the pitch-to-pitch communication of what's who's covering the bag, all these things. So it takes conversation, right? It takes conversations amongst the two guys who are on the field. There's talk before the game when we talk about their lineup. There's the pre-series meetings that we'll have today to talk about the Braves, and Shafe does a really good job of leading those conversations. So it's all about talking and talking to each other.
Because that's a big part of your defensive game is ground balls, double plays, et cetera.
You're right. Yeah. But getting Trejo back, he's been here. He knows what we like. Knowing Miller in spring training, he's a pretty heady player. Amador's a good listener. He's learning. He still has ways to go, but he's and Tovar is a Gold Glove. And what's a bummer is the Estrada Tovar combination that we saw up until May 20th in spring training was like really good. I mean, really good. I was super pumped for that. That hasn't played out, obviously, but hopefully in time that will show up here. Because Tyro's a good defender, under the radar, sort of quiet, and sort of Tobias. But man, when you see those guys obla, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Any forward movement with
Gomber's doing better. I think he's getting real close to picking up a baseball and throwing it forward. He's done a lot of work in the training room. Hi, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. A little late? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, how's Walt doing?
Great.
Is that your excuse? Gomber's doing better. No timeline there. That'll be another month, I'm sure. Before, again, when you ask me type of game, I don't know if it's a major league game or a AAA game or a AA game. I'm not sure, but it's he's still ways away from the game. Freeman's getting better. Victor Vodnik's getting better. Shunk's going to be a while with that one. Bryant is seeing a doctor in Los Angeles again the last couple of days, or today. Didn't see him on Sunday. I don't think doctors work on Sunday. Their office is closed. Yeah, most of them.
to
They may
see a
be open one day
doctor?
for all I know.
To see a doctor in LA, is it to see if he can get cleared to go further? Is it a re-examination?
Yeah, just re-examination.
Okay.
How's that? Yeah, that's good stuff. That's a bite in there. That's something for you, right? So I don't think you can work a paragraph into that, but you can work something.
Hey,
Re-examination.
the injury update. There we go.
Yeah.
What about
Estrada? How is he coming?
Yeah, he's taking grounders, swinging lightly. I saw him yesterday. Took a lot of grounders yesterday. He's getting closer to more intense baseball activity, more more baseball activity is on the horizon.
Buddy, can you revisit Tovar's injury for a moment? I know you'd hoped. Is it? I mean, I know it's a bruise or a contusion. I mean, is it just really deep? Is it? Can you expand at all on why?
Not really. I don't know.
No.
I wish I could.
Okay.
I wish I
I
could.
mean,
give you
there
more.
weren't like complications or
No,
nothing.
no complications. It's pretty straightforward. It's just, he's in discomfort, especially when, he gets into a fielding position or he gets into his legs, whether it's batting stance or get ready to field the ball.
Buddy,
Just that-
one guy,
Sort of when you hinge your hips, sort of like in that area, it's something happens in there. I don't know. But
Hey, buddy, what can guys like Zach Dean and maybe some of these other younger players who might go back and forth to the minors this year learn about the way Jordan Beck handled it?
yeah. Well,
What can they learn?
or a little bit of Tolia last year when he came back. He sort of got to learn again, didn't he, Tolia? But
That was a good one.
I guess like anything, right? You don't have everything figured out. I think that's the thing that you think you might know what it's like, but until you get here, you don't, and then you realize that it's a little bit different than what you thought. So I think that's the overlying, I hope, takeaway from a lot of young players, that when you think you got it, you might not.
That's right, when baseball humbles you a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.